Assalamu alaikum. Okay, welcome again to the Practical English Learning Program. Let's begin with the name of Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth. The difference between whose and this whose. Okay, in spoken English, you don't know the difference, right? You cannot differentiate, these words in spoken English. Whose, right? They are pronounced in the same way. But what is the difference? Look, the first one, the whose, this whose, it is usually followed by a noun, like here, you have a noun, pen. Whose pen is this? Whose car is this? Whose house is this? Okay? Whose car has been lost? It's not like you just use simple present tense, okay? You can use different tenses, okay? Whose house will be painted? Right? Passive form, a future tense, right? It's followed by a noun in a sentence, and therefore we can call it interrogative possessive adjective. Why interrogative? Because in simple sentences, this word is always used to ask about something, to ask about the possession of something. Understood? So now this sentence means, to whom does this pen belong? To whom does this pen belong? So our question is about the possession of something. Understood? So therefore we say, and it's commonly used in questions, therefore we say it's interrogative, and the question is about the in possessive case, so we ask our question about, something that belongs to someone, okay? So therefore we can say possessive in its adjective because it modifies this following noun. So therefore we can say it's a interrogative possessive adjective. Whose pen is this? We can also use this word at the beginning of a noun clause. Most commonly when we use it in simple sentences, it is used at the beginning of the sentence, okay? And it is used in interrogative sentences. You ask a question with whose, okay? In simple sentences. But it's a complex sentence. It's the combination of two clauses. There's noun clause and there's main clause, okay? So it can start a noun clause as well. So now this is not an interrogative sentence. It's just affirmative sentence. Understood? Because inside the noun clause, we cannot use interrogative form. We cannot use question form. Okay? In other words, you can say it is indirect question or it is included question. Okay? But there are two clauses and it's a complex sentence and it's not an interrogative sentence. I don't know whose house that is. I don't know whose car is the most expensive. I don't know whose name is Jamal. Okay? So yeah, you can use this word whose in complex sentences as well. Who apostrophe is. It is the contraction form of either is or has. It is the short form of is or has. So how do you know whether it is the short form for is in a sentence or it is the short form for has in a sentence? Look, if it's followed by a noun, you should know that it is the short form for is. For example, who's Jamal? Who is Jamal? Right? For example, who's your brother? Who's your friend? So friend, brother, right? It's a noun. If it's followed by verb ing, again, who's coming late to class? Or for example, who's crying outside? Who's talking to you at the moment, right now? Okay? So if it is followed by verb ing, you should know that this is the, contracted form for is. If it's followed by a prepositional phrase, preposition plus location. Who's in the classroom? Okay. Who's at the office? Who's on the second floor, right? So, in preposition, the classroom, in the classroom, prepositional phrase. So again, you should know that this is the short form for is. Okay? If it's followed by adverb of place, who's outside? Who's upstairs? Who's downstairs? Who's there? Who's here? These are all adverbs of place. Okay? Now, in a sentence, if this word, who, plus apostrophe, plus is followed by adverb of place, again, you should know this is the contraction form for is. Adjective. Who's happy today? Yeah, who's tall, who's short? Okay, who's upset? Who's angry? Exactly. If there's an adjective, again, it is the short form. But if it is followed by main verb third form or been plus verb ing, you should know that it is the contraction form for has. Okay? And of course, here it functions as a singular subject. It functions as a, so that's why we use has or is. Okay? So now, for example, who's broken the chair? Who's broken? So now, broken is the third form of break. Break, broke, broken, right? You should know that this is the contraction form who has. Who's broken the chair, okay? Or who's been crying since morning? Who's been teaching this class, for an hour? Who's been living in Kabul, yes, for a long time? So if you see, been plus verb ing, again, you should know that this is the short form for, has. Understood? Okay. So now, if you pay attention to what comes after this contraction, you will understand whether it is the short form for is or has. I hope you enjoyed, okay, learning the difference between who's and whose, okay? Who's and whose, right? In spoken English, it's just who's, right? Right? Okay, yeah. Any questions? No questions? Have a great time. We're done.